Hello everyone, my name is David Indo and I'm the co-founder and CEO of IDComms. Welcome to Media Snack Meets, where we meet the individuals and organizations doing great work to inspire success and drive change within the global media and marketing industry. Because the best are short of time, our guests answer only 6 questions in 20 minutes. We get to learn what is behind their success, what it takes to make change in the industry, and importantly, what the rest of us can learn from that experience. My guest for this episode, I'm delighted to say, is Gianluca Toccafondi, Global Integrated Media Manager, IKEA Group. Gianluca ensures that the media investment generates growth in the short term as revenue, and importantly, as the long term as equity. He's also in charge of integration of paid, owned, and earned media strategic approaches and measuring results through econometrics and attribution. Quite a plateful.
Hey guys.
Hello, gentlemen.
Where are you? There you are.
Cheers.
Gianluca, how are you?
Hey, David.
Welcome to Media Snack Meet. So lovely to see you again, and thank you for agreeing to join us today. I've been really looking forward to this episode. We've known you for a long time, and we're big fans of you in particular, and also the work that you do with IKEA. So I'm looking forward to this. So you know the format: 6 questions, and then we'll see where it goes. You ready to go?
I'm ready. Thank you, David.
Okay. So number 1. I mentioned in the intro the work that you do, but can you kind of explain the stuff that you do for IKEA around media, and also perhaps the areas that you're most proud of?
Yes. Well, actually, my responsibility is to make media an investment for growth, and I'm supporting all the countries in IKEA to make this real, actually. So from a strategic perspective and capabilities perspective, data, and of course, technology in the wonderful world of media. And I'm very proud of what we have achieved this year, because we have set up a performance hub, actually, that is integrating the center of expertise that I'm proudly leading. Now we have across Inca countries, IKEA, around 85 plus media experts to drive this journey. It's just amazing, and so I'm proud of that. And of course, we have been rolling out an econometric modeling across all the countries. So making really the follow-up culture a culture of media.
That's amazing. And I mean, we talked a little bit off screen about the way that you've managed to institutionalize the narrative at IKEA around media as an investment and not as a growth, and you've accelerated that over the last 3 years. Can you just sort of share with me and those watching how you've managed to do that so effectively?
Well, we are still on a journey, of course, but the secret sauce, I think, is to find good friends and to explain the narrative and the vision you have. And friends are in the marketing community, but also outside of that, with the procurement, with the business navigation and CFOs, really to seed every day what good looks like, and the trust in the data that we are investing in, and also the algorithm of the econometric modeling. This is fundamental to bring the people along in the journey, and explain also, have some debates of why it's working, why it's not working, and what's the best thing. And then you show every year continuously what good looks like, and then you get a culture that is forging, basically.
I love that. Love that. Excellent. Okay. So next question. What is the best thing about working in media, in your opinion?
Well, the best thing is an element of chemistry around, starting from people, because media is not channels. Media is people, is translating the people and into audiences. At the same time, you have the element of growth, and in between that, you have all the analytics and all the data. But for me, the blend of people centricity and investment for growth of the business is the key element that is keeping me into this industry, into this expertise area.
I love that. And because, I mean, we've talked a long time about clients increasingly becoming the smarter stakeholder in the supply chain. You know, there used to be a time in the past when the agency perhaps was the smarter stakeholder in the supply chain because they understood the target audience, they had control over all of the tools and the optimization techniques, and also because they were negotiating the media. But with advances in you know, econometric modeling and the sophistication of technology to enable brands such as IKEA to understand an outcome-based you know, metric, suddenly, you know, brands and brand leaders and media leaders such as you are the smarter stakeholder in the supply chain because you appreciate the value of that media investment and not just the cost of it. And that sounds like what you've managed to incubate really successfully.
We have started with this outcome-based planning culture. Now, so why we do media is because we want to grow the business here and now in the short term, but also in the long term. What is the recipe for doing this? And what is the vision for doing this? What are the tools that we need? And can we get rid of the magnitude of analytics that it is there? But what is the most important selection of those that are important for the business? And this has been kind of our mantra from the beginning.
I love that. Very good. Very good. Right. Moving on to question number 3. What is the biggest industry challenge that you face?
It's I think it's around the keyword, and the keyword is trust. Trust around transparency of the supply chain or the value chain, not only in digital, but in particular in the digital value chain. Trust is, for me, one of the biggest challenge. How do we deal with the walled gardens? Is still around transparency and trust, and the quality of the digital media investment. We have started the journey looking at the digital media investment return, and we were not satisfied. So we started to investigate further on, and we found some elements. So and trust is trust with the partners. How we can together move this into the right direction is the biggest challenge I see for the industry.
Yeah, and I echo that. If I was on the brand side now, that would be the one area that would be keeping me awake at night. The amount of wastage that is within especially the digital supply chain. But we know that, you know, the trade bodies are doing everything they can to sort of champion that solution. You know, the ANA, as you know, have put forward a massive RFP, you know, asking the industry to come in with solutions to try and help brands feel more secure and safer within the digital space. As more and more money migrates, you know, onto auction-based platforms, you know, it's not just progressive advertisers that need to start thinking about the supply chain. It's everybody, right? And so, you know, I completely echo that as a challenge. But the fact that the industry is stepping forward and leaning into that challenge rather than being passive, I think is a good sign, and we have to crack that.
It is, and we are taking active part on that. For example, on the WFA, and because we talk about a lot around sustainability, and then the sustainability of the value chain in terms of the consequence in people, for example, is very important for us as a company to follow our values as well. So in my area, I'm trying to drive as much as I can the element of transparency and trust, from the technology that we select to participate into forums, basically.
Very good. Gianluca, right, question number 4. What is the best leadership piece of advice that you have received?
Well, I think there is a motto from Ingvar Kamprad that is most things remain to be done, glorious future. And this has always inspired me in terms of you have achieved great success. Yes, good. celebrate but move on, because most things remains to be done. And the best leadership advice was, first of all, create a vision, bring people along, test, try, learn fast, and move in the unknown, especially now that we are facing transformation moments that are really unclear. This is the best advice I'm trying to exercise every day.
I love that. Create a vision, bring people along with it. And, you know, all the great leaders within our industry and all the great media leaders have a very clear vision of what they're trying to do, and a very clear articulation of what that vision is around media. And I love that. I completely follow that sentiment. Okay, very good. So outside of the wonderful world of media, and I'm frankly, given what you do for IKEA, I have no idea how you have time for anything else outside of media. But when you do manage to find moments of peace outside of the work that you do, what are your passions? What do you like doing?
I like playing tennis. Like playing tennis. I'm not, the best tennis player, but I like playing tennis. I like traveling. I was coming from a period of traveling, like not 50 weeks, but most of them 35 weeks a year, to being at home. And then, of course, now I said to me, when it's possible and allowed in the pandemic, play tennis. So I'm playing now hard every week, trying to.
Is it getting better? How is your tennis? Is it improving?
Yeah, it's improving, of course. The more you exercise, you say you need to exercise for 10,000 hours, no, if you want to play decently. And I'm getting there.
That's really good. That's really good. Okay, good. And so, right, we get into our final question, which is, what hopes do you have and senses of optimism, perhaps, do you have for the remainder of this year and perhaps beyond?
I think my hope is that we learn. We learn as a human being. We learn as experts as well, and we learn and we put the learning that the pandemic is telling us to a new, more sustainable, normal situation. In transformation, chaotic, but still a new paradigm, if you like. This is my hope that I see, and I'm trying to exercise my hope into reality with my family and my friends and my colleagues as much as I can. From a professional point of view, I would like to see some consolidation of the work I was preparing. I have been seeding so far, but this is a bit selfish. So, but at least continuing the journey of media as an investment for growth in my company is another hope that I have professionally.
That's inspirational. Gianluca Toccafondi, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, David.
Who would you like to meet on future episodes? Please let us know in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel, where you will also find previous guests, including leading media executives from companies like P&G, L'Oreal, Mars, MasterCard, and many more. Plus some of the industry's most provocative thought leaders, such as Belinda Smith, Jerry Dakin, Professor Mark Ritson, Nadine Cart-McHugh, and Gary Vaynerchuk. You can also subscribe to get new episodes each week, and if you like this episode and think someone else would, then please do share it. Thanks so much for watching.